Um, After we play this interlude, we will be back with our guests. That's right. We're on live. We're gonna get this thing done one way or another. What's up to y'all? What's up to y'all? Welcome to Third Eye Visions, where we motivate the blind. I got to turn my phone down and stimulate your mind and welcome all kind. Today's topic: the low expectations people have for blind parenting. People do have some low expectations of parents who are blind and their doubts that they try to impose on us. I don't know why they do that. But anyway, we have somebody other than me who is a blind parent that's going to speak on this topic. His name is Tim. But before we do that, make sure you all to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Once you have subscribed, yes, that's his little baby in the background.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's all good because that's the title. The show is talking about. The show is talking about parenting. So hey, what better sound that we need than to have a little baby? So that's all good.
Wife's in the other part. I'm over here, so everyone can hear. I apologize about the noise.
That's all right. That's all right. So y'all make sure to like, share, comment, and to the people who are going to view this afterwards, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and what have you. So with that being said, I'm going to welcome Tim to the show. What's up, Tim?
Hello. Good afternoon.
Well, I'm glad you are here, and I want to say a early Father's Day to you and what have you.
Well.
You have anything special planned?
No, with everything going on outside, we're just making it simple. We're FaceTiming my in-laws to say Happy Father's Day. They're super excited to be grandparents, so they get to have lots of fun with Roy over FaceTime. So.
Okay. That's what's up. And you told me some exciting news. Do you want me to bring it up? And
sure, go ahead. It is exciting. So
well, I was speaking with you. Oh, how you doing? Hello, Kitty. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to be rude, but I was told by you that you are expecting another one. Is that correct?
Yes, we are expecting our second child, and he is going to be due in November. So we're either going to have, as my wife calls, like little nicknames, either a little turkey or some like little warlock or something like that. Our son, who was born in March, is our little leprechaun. So we're expecting our second child. It's a boy, so we know it's a boy.
It's a boy. Okay, all right, cool. It's not going to be a junior.
No juniors. My wife and I, my wife's family is Reformed Jewish. So name traditions are more of past family members. So it's not, we don't name like my father. I'll give an example. My father-in-law, we would not name him Charles, or me, Timothy. It would be someone like great grandfather or someone passed. Okay. Roy is named after my wife's uncle who passed several years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Anthony. I don't know who my mother and father named me after, so I don't know. Maybe somebody in Italy, but it is what it is. But yeah, congratulations, man, for real.
Thank you.
I know the feeling how it was when I had my first one. What have you? So with that being said, where you from? Could you have a East Coast accent?
There you go. Yes, I'm from Pennsylvania. I grew up here, raised here, went to school, started going to school here, and then finished in Virginia. And lived in Virginia for 10 years. I was always they always jokingly told me, I said, you don't sound like you're from around here. But I'm from the Harrisburg area in Pennsylvania.
The capital, okay. So
yes.
I do know my geography, my capital, so that did come in handy. But I can tell with the accent that is from East Coast. But anyway, we just trying to get to know Tim, and he's going to enlighten us with his story and what have you. But before we go further, you've been blind your entire life, or you?
Yes, I had some vision when I was younger, some what they called moderate usable vision, and then when in my teenagehood forward, I only have simple light perception. I can't see really. I don't have any real vision anymore.
Do you want to share with us what caused? Because I get all into people's business. Do you want to
That's always good, isn't it?
share
Well, I
what
mean,
caused you
getting
to?
into yes, I can. I had several. I have a neurological condition with
Okay.
my brain and optic nerves, and that's when my vision just
Oh, okay.
it was a long time ago. And then basically, I have a brain corpus callosum agenesis and optic nerve condition with neuro stuff and epilepsy, and that's when my vision went.
Okay. Hi, Crystal, and welcome from uh Eyes Like Mine. That's a guest on the show. But you've done pretty well without it, right?
Yes,
Want
I have.
you
Yes.
want to tell people a little bit about what you do? You don't have to go into too much detail since that's not the topic. But I just want to talk to you because I like you. So tell them what you do.
Um, I've done a variety of things for over the years when I was younger, and then in the last, I would say about 7, 8 years. Sorry, I have a medical device, so it goes off. That's why I sound hoarse sometimes. But
That's
I work with basically public advocates for the Epilepsy Association, and I do some work with the National Federation for the Blind regarding public advocates,
mm,
rights to vote, everything, families, schools. My wife and I work with a lot of schools in helping students and their families if they need help with disability accommodations.
okay. All right, that's a great deed, man, for real. Um, Take us through the times we're gonna talk about the parenting
Yes.
of how you were treated. I think I caught a glimpse of your link on
Oh,
Facebook
yes.
before
Yeah.
you decided to, to become a parent. How it was and the things that the nurses and doctors were telling you.
Well, if we're the incident when my wife and I have a son named Roy. He's now about 15, 16 months now, and he has a cleft condition, which is basically an opening in the mouth and then an opening in the mouth, in the lip and the mouth. Sorry,
Mhm.
and that is where that they said is a combination of a couple of things. We don't really know how or why he had it,
Right,
but they
right.
said it could have been from medications when you were younger. It could have just been just an anomaly. So we don't know the exact cause, but we did work with it. And his lip was repaired in July of last year, and his cleft, and then his palate was repaired in the last 2-3 weeks. And when his palate repair surgery happened, with all COVID-19, there's a lot of restrictions now. You only want one parent per patient, one parent per child, type of thing. So my wife and I discussed it, and we said, all right, who is going to feel most comfortable, and who would like to be the person who is going to be up all night after surgery?
Mhm.
And my wife is pregnant, so I said, do you know what, wife, Rebecca, I will gladly go into the hospital, be with our son through surgery, after surgery, all the necessary things in the hospital. We're familiar with the hospital. Hospital is familiar with me. And when this we had our last instance, it will be about an hour before discharge. The nurse
Mhm.
comes around and says, "You're blind." I was like, "Yes, I am."
Wait,
I
wait,
said,
wait. Let me stop you right there. So
"Yeah,
this is the first time she saw you, and she's gonna say something like that.
yep. This is the nurse. This is not. This is
Okay,
like one of the charge nurse
right.
type. One of the discharge nurses, one of the last nurses and everything. She said, "You're
You're
you're
blind.
blind, right?" I said, you can't see." I was like, "Can you see anything?" I said, "Well, no, I have some light perception, but I have no usable vision. So thank you." And I've had nurses ask me, "Is there, can you see light? Can you see color? Is there anything you can see?" And I'll give them the answer. And this nurse kind of kept on asking questions, and people ask me random questions all the time. They'll see me with a cane and say, "That cane, you have a cane. You see, you have a baby." He said, "How is that possible?" I said, "Well, it's very possible." Uh,
Can, can
so
I can
I've had
can I
people
stop
ask
you?
me. I've
Can I
had
stop you
people.
right there?
Yeah, please. Sorry.
I know it has nothing to do with what the topic, but it just caught my interest when people ask uh question like that, like you said, the nurse asked you, "Couldn't, are you blind?" Do you think that people are asking if you can really see, or do they understand that there are different degrees of blind, or do when people like us tell them that we're blind, is it just ignorance? Just answer that for me right quick, and then we can move on. I just, you know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
majority of the time, it's ignorance.
okay, that's
That's honestly, it's ignorance. Sometimes it's curiosity, and they just don't know how to start the question.
mhm.
It's usually when they see the cane, my white cane. I have a tall white cane that I use for orientation, mobility, navigation, and so forth. And I'll have that with me. So I will tell you that sometimes when before COVID-19, my wife and I would go shopping, and it would be, what are we doing, and where we're going out, and how long. And sometimes I will be honest. I use my wife. I'll hold on to her,
Right,
her arm, or I'll hold on to whatever, like we're going shopping.
basket
Then
or
I can
something.
use both hands. So
Mhm.
I have done that, but most of the time, when I'm, that's what we'll do sometimes, because one, it's simple and it's just running around and I can carry things that way.
Right.
But if I'm going by myself, I always have a cane. So
Okay.
people like to ask that question.
Okay, I'm just
But
curious. But getting
yeah,
back to what you were saying, they saw you with the baby and they asked, "How do you do it?" And you gave them a smart answer, or you gave them a smart look. What did you? Well, let's continue with that.
I polite when the incident, the escalated incident that happened at this hospital, the nurse said, are you blind? Can you see? It's like, no, I can't. I have no usable vision. So I went over the whole, I call it the press line, which is, no, I have no usable vision. I can't see, but thank you for asking. And then she went over discharge instructions, and which was like, let's see here. One of the questions was, he's going to have to do medication. He's going to have to go on medication. I'm like, okay. He said, and it's one of the gauges. I said, no problem. I shouldn't have a problem with that. And I said, I just need to know, for my wife will help me out with this, what the gauge is, which is like 1/2, 2/2, 3/2. It's like a small little medicine dropper. And there's ways to mark the medicine dropper too. So I told her, I said, you know what? It's okay. I know I've done this before with the medicine stuff for my son.
Mhm.
And my wife and I go over all the medicine stuff, both of us, to see if there's anything that needs to be done for the medicine dropper in the gauges. Similar to when he was younger, formula, measuring formula in water. Someone once asked me how I could do that. I said, well, it's not that difficult.
Mhm.
The nurse we had, that my son and had at the end, when she was going over paperwork, I said, could you please tell me if the information is on his patient portal, like a standardized
Right.
medical portal? And she's like, well, yes, it should be. I said, well, no problem. Anything that we're going over right now, I will gladly look over the patient portal when I get home. And she said, can you read that? I said, yes.
Oh
I have my phone and I have technology. I said, all I have to do is use the assistive technology. I'll show it to you. If you want, I'll show you how it works. And she just said, I just don't know how. What really was upsetting in the situation was she kept on saying, I don't know how blind people can do that. And she even started going on, I don't know how you can do that.
So was she referring to, I don't know how blind people can do what you're doing, when you specify the fact that you are able to read the information, or just what she was talking about? I don't know how blind people can have kids, because both of it is ignorant to me. Go ahead.
Yeah, the incident I had, most recent incident I had, and I've had other incidences before, but this, I think, was where it was the most upsetting recently, because it was one involving my son right beside me going through surgery, and post-op and everything, and then after, I was exhausted, so I'm dealing with this. I'm worried about him and focusing on my son entirely. And simple ignorant questions are one thing, but this nurse I had, my son had, at the very end, was very, very persistent. And at one of the instances that led to me having to call people and get people's help and call my wife in
Mm.
and try to get the attending in, was the nurse actually said, Mr. McCarthy, you're not allowed to leave with your son,
Oh my God.
because I don't think you can use an Uber. So
Nah, this is so ignorant. I can't.
yeah,
Go ahead.
it was very sad. It was very upsetting, very ignorant, and very, very I call it politely. I say this. I can say this now because it's over. That day it was scary for me.
In terms of how scary, in terms of what do you mean?
Well, if you're in a room, just where I was just say that I'll use mine. I was in the children, in the exam room. I'm in the exam room. I apologize. The his hospital room, and I'm being told you can't leave because we don't think you're able to successfully get out of this room and into a vehicle. I took Uber to the hospital with our son to the hospital, checked in, oriented myself. They showed me where to get to the elevator, got up there, did everything for the pre-op, surgery, all that. And they said, and then the nurse at the very end says, I don't think you can actually get out of here. We need to have someone pick you up. But the hospital policy says no one else can do that. You can't have more people in the hospital room because of COVID-19.
Right.
So the nurse had all my discharge stuff set up. Everything was good. And then had a nurse's aide, one of the good folks who runs around and helps the nurses, but they're not technically their nurse.
I forgot what you call them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah, I think you know what you're talking about. You know what I mean.
Mm.
But had someone at the door waiting there, just and saying, this person, me, is blind, cannot leave until his wife comes and gets him and his son.
Did they not know that you came by yourself?
Yes, they did. The nurse did not believe it.
She saw you come in with
No, it was a different nurse. But the nurse did not believe anything that she read.
So what happened after that? I mean, in terms of you have to wait till your wife come.
It was about 3 hour ordeal. My wife ended up having to come because she heard I was so beside myself and upset. I actually had my phone on speaker when the nurse started coming in again, and my wife was like, "Oh no!" She's like, "I'm running upstairs. I'm getting the clothes together, getting dressed, and I'm coming to get you." So my wife, who has a medical condition with epilepsy as well,
right,
had to take an Uber to the hospital to go up to basically say, you are letting my husband and my son leave this hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Now I will tell you, we did have allies and we did have people help us take care of it afterwards, and the attending was very upset with how it happened, but the experience should have never happened at all.
So did y'all move forward with it? I don't want to pry into the business, but I know everything was taken care of right after that situation.
Yes, after about two, it was about, let's say, about two. It took 2 weeks, pretty much, to get everything resolved, but it was resolved finally.
Okay, cool. That's a shame how people think. Unfortunately, I haven't had that experience, and because when mine was born, I was with my child's mother and everything. So, but I have heard stories of people actually being told that they shouldn't have kids because they were blind and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Though, but as we push forward, being that that's the case, I mean, did you before actually planning on having kids, did you have any apprehensions or anything like that? Like, will I be good? Will I be a good father? Or by me being blind, would that cause any problems or anything like that? Because I talked with you off camera. You had your little baby on your lap and everything seems on normal. So did you have any like apprehensions or anything like that?
No. I was prepared for me. As a parent, I was not worried about it. I did not have any apprehension or fear or worry. I had more people ask me, "Are you sure you're able to do this? Are you sure you're going to be able to parent? Are you sure you're going to be able to change a diaper, check the temperature? What happens? Are you going to be able to feed them properly?" I had the plethora of questions. my unfortunate question, I'm going to put this in a polite way, is, when my wife and I were talking about having kids, and Roy was our miracle. I call it a miracle and blessing,
Mm.
because we had been trying and we had several miscarriages
Mm.
before. So when we had him, he was, oh my gosh, the world is now, everything is now complete. We are now feeling like we are moving forward after having several miscarriages.
Man, I can tell in your voice that you're excited about
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
son and everything like that. We were speaking earlier of people saying the the most asinine things. And one of my
Yes.
friends just posted. He said that he had one nurse asked him how they couldn't believe that blind people had sex, which I mean
Yes.
I couldn't believe. I can just really. I can't fathom some of these questions that people ask of blind people.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You were fixing to say something?
Oh yeah, sorry, but yeah, that is actually one of the most common questions for me with certain, ignorant people and ignorant questions is how do you guys have sex? Can you have, how do you actually, how does that work? And I'm like, well, do I need to spell it out, or do I need to what version do you want? Do you want the G-rated version, or do you want the
I'm asking
R-rated version?
see,
You know.
you ask a stupid question sometimes, and you know that that if you think about it, you know what I'm saying, think about it,
Yeah.
you may look at it in a different sense. So if you ask a stupid question, hey, you deserve a crazy answer. Why do you think that people have like sort of low expectations or doubts about blind people becoming parents? That's one part of the question I want to ask you. Why do you think that they have? Is it you think it's because of ignorance?
In some part, it is ignorance, and I would think that sometimes it's region. And I'm my wife and I and our family live in Pennsylvania, so it's a fairly diverse area. But even in Pennsylvania, there are certain areas. If I were to go to Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, I would have a different experience than I would be having where I live in Harrisburg and the central PA area and the surrounding area. So it's really about where you live, and if there's a large blind community. There in my area, there is a large pockets, but there's a lot of ignorance when you go in places and it's like, wait, I've never met the unfortunate question or comment I get sometimes is, I've never met a blind person before.
I've heard that when I was younger. I
Yeah.
met, and you would think that with the emergence, I heard. Thanks for the comment, Clint Akins. I got your comment, man. I appreciate it. You would think that with the emergence of technology and all these things that people would want to try to read, or people would read, or people would try to discover if they are if they are ignorant to the fact to before they even make crazy or say crazy questions like that. And I mean, I would think that you would only a reasonable person should know how blind people have sex or this, that, and the third, because it's, it's not that not that hard. But with that being said, do you feel that people ask the questions that people ask is it's not just geared sometimes to blind people? Because if you sighted and if you're quote unquote normal and you become, or you have the ideas of becoming a parent, people have low expectations of you regardless. You see what I'm saying? Not just because because you can be normal or sighted or whatever.
Right.
And I could say, well, I don't know, Tim should have no child because he blah blah blah. So do you think it's more magnified because you are not you, but because a person is visually impaired, or a person may be having other maybe psychological situations going
with parenting, I'll just say with parenting, people can say a variety of things with people with parenting. That's common though, and everything. But with myself, I the level of ignorance and not being aware from people about being a blind parent is a lot. And that is when we're talking about like the formula and the feeding and everything. I mean, my wife and I have two strollers. One that we use like for small, and then we have I call it this SUV stroller, which is the 2-seater one and lots of space. And I'll use that stroller around, and I'll just walk around the yard with it. We have a specific area we walk around in the yard, and we do that, and same with the house. So it's about And if I told someone, hey, I walk Roy around, our son, around the yard, some people might say, how are you able to do that? I said, well, it's kind of simple. My wife and I walk around the yard enough, we get familiar with it, I'm oriented it, and it's entirely possible. So
And it's a shame that you have to, when people, one of my friends has said, don't be discouraged by the ignorance, and I'm quite sure that you're not.
yeah.
It's a shame that when people ask questions, that you have to prove it to them. Most, you don't have to, but in a sense, like you have to explain how you actually do stuff, as opposed to if you weren't blind, then they'll know. Okay, if you said, well, I walk my child around the yard. Okay, cool. How often you do it every time? But then if you by being visually impaired, they have to come back with another question of how do you actually do it. Then you got to say, well, this is how I do it. Blah blah. I don't like doing that. Does that ever get on your nerves when you kind of have to go that extra mile to show people that you are capable instead of just live your life? You see what I'm saying?
One of the things that happened with this recent situation, and the other times before, and I even explained it when the situation happened to the staff, which is there's a difference between asking a person a question and then questioning if a person can do it. You can say, hey, I see that you're blind. Can you tell me how you do this? Or what are some of the ways that you do things differently to be a parent? That's okay. That's being curious. Curiosity is not horrible, especially when trying to understand someone's medical condition. But the ignorant, and sometimes I say the very dark side of the question when people go is, can you actually do this? Can you do this? And they're not asking, hey, I want to know how it's done. It's, I don't believe you can do it. And that's where the change is.
Yes. Michelle, I just sent you a comment. Get in touch with me. I just saw your comment and what have you. So you're getting a lot of positive comments, man. You know, a lot of visually impaired people who are on here who may have gone through similar situations and whatnot. So there's a lot of upbeat comments.
Well, thank you.
Sorry, y'all, I can't read them all at one time because I'm doing three different things. But
and thank you for working with me. Like I said, my son started hearing me and he said, I have to move to another spot, and I got to another spot, so I was not originally where I was.
Look, we're not. You know, I appreciate you coming in and answering. We're not gonna be long, like maybe 5 or 10 more minutes. Just off the top, do you have any tips, any techniques that you may use to give out for expecting parents or expecting fathers, expecting mothers, or expecting blind people that they can use to make their parental guidance much smoother? I know
one question that happens to me and my wife, and I will be honest, my in-laws are wonderful people, but they were wanting to know too, how can you guys get this? How can this happen? How can this happen? But how can you be able to do all these things? Successfully. From I call it my mother-in-law. God bless her. She is you're talking about the most wonderful, awesome Jewish mother ever. And she will literally, ask all the questions, and sometimes they're kind of direct, but they're loving. And it's really about being a parent. And yes, you can be blind, legally blind, visually impaired, and be a parent and have no problems. You just have to have a support network and kind of work on things before the baby arrives. And then after the baby arrives, you're going to have to figure out a lot of stuff on hand. It's not going to be you can't just plan out everything until the baby arrives, and you're going to start understanding more things. Mm-hmm. And that's what my wife and I did with me, which was I have a plan, I have some ideas, I have a lot of things in place, but a lot of stuff I didn't fully have sorted out until he arrives. He's growing.
And to be honest with you, it's not as hard as sighted people think. You know what I'm saying? You have their techniques. You just have to create other means and ways of doing things. That's just in life. So if you bring in a child into this world, you're gonna plan out. You're gonna think it out in your mind how you're gonna do this. You're not just gonna say, "Oh my happened," and "Oh my God, it's here. I'm blind now." Well, you knew you were blind before then. So it's all about like you're saying, preparations. And it's not as hard as people think. It really isn't. I mean, it's just that y'all don't know. So people who are sighted, I'm not putting y'all down by all means, because I want y'all to understand. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, please.
No, I'm not. This is your show. You can stop me whenever you want to. Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
Well, no, it was with one thing that with our son is, well, the cane I was talking about. He's gotten used to saying, "Daddy has a cane." Daddy, he's not talking like that, but I'm just saying this. He knows that when he needs to go out, Daddy has a cane, and it was something really cute because I put on my shoes, and I was getting some stuff together in our kitchen and everything, and I took my cane out. We were taking a little bit of a walk, and he starts getting super excited. He knows that with the cane, that means that unless we must be going out somewhere. So he understands it, and with my assistive technology, now I used to have a computer. I don't have that anymore, but I just have smartphone and everything. But it talks. So with some people, I'll have earbuds like I have this on now. It'd be easier for this. But if I'm working in the house and doing stuff, I will literally have it off, and our son is really used to all the voices that come with it.
Oh yeah, that's intriguing. So that's right, Michelle. The most Michelle was saying that it's good to have people who will encourage and support you. I'm quite sure you have that with your supporting task and what have you. So.
I'm doing one thing, my friend. I had to let him know I'm here because he's actually starting to look for me.
Okay, well, with that being said, don't bring him on camera.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. With that being said, you have any final words? Because I'm gonna let you get back to your. And I hate rushing you like that, but we're gonna continue.
No. You're fine. I think he started. I can hear him. He started to look through the house. My wife is following him, I believe.
Okay. Any final words that you want to say to any expecting parents and things of that nature?
Yes, it is entirely possible, and just be patient with yourself and ignore the ignorance, but work with the people around you.
Okay. Again, man, I want to thank you again, and
thank you very much. And I apologize for the
no, don't apologize. You are a parent. This is what we needed, so I appreciate that. Handle your business, man, and to everybody. I'm gonna go and take you off camera, but I'm gonna continue this off camera. When
right. Thanks. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Okay, tell your wife I said thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Hello. So that's where it is. Hey, look, y'all, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you all supporting and enjoying this topic and listening to the baby cry in the background, blind people parenting and whatnot. Man, sorry I wasn't able to check out all y'all's comments and whatnot, but I want to bring this on. And you're right, Michelle, it may not be low expectations that they have, or just I just think that they are misinformed. And even though we don't like, or some of us do not like to try to teach them and show them and all this other stuff, well, we may have to in order for them to be in the know and what have you. So any other questions before I get about her? Make sure you all go to Third Eye Visions /Anthony on my YouTube channel and subscribe. I just need one subscriber today if you can do that for me, because I'm on Periscope and Facebook and all these other things. Of course, you're going to get some of this stuff, but I want y'all to go and subscribe to the channel, Third Eye Vision /Anthony. And if y'all have any comments, please put them in the comment box or whatever. Email me, parkeranthony225@gmail.com. If you have any show selections, if you want to be on the show, whatever the case may be, because this is your all show, and I appreciate it. It makes me so feel good to know that people are really tuning in and really feeling what I am doing. And it's open, like I said, it's open to everybody. I welcome all kinds. The motto, again, if y'all haven't checked it out, it's Third Eye Visions, where we motivate the blind, stimulate your mind, and welcome all kinds. So please go subscribe. Please go support. And thank everybody for their questions and comments and whatnot. So I'm going to be on here maybe about 2 more minutes. And the music that you hear has been provided by SOV Music, and the title track is called No Time. And I want to thank them for sending me the music and allowing me to use it. And happy Father's Day to everyone out there. Early Father's Day. I don't know what y'all going to be doing, but I'm probably go visit my father. He had passed. He passed about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So anyway, I'm not trying to bring everything down, but that's where it is. So, any questions? That's true, Michelle. buying noisy toys. That I should have taken that into consideration when I had mine, but that's true. Get you some bells, put them on the shoes, any type of thing, so you know where your child is and whatnot. But also, he has an iPad, and that's constantly playing from time to time. So I'm constantly where he is, and he finally realized that I can't see, and he asks every day, "I can't see. Oh, you can't see that? No. Well, I'm gonna stay here with you, and I'm gonna protect you." And that is what his duty. He feels his duty is, but I have to kind of make him aware that I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm cool. I'm good. Just go live your life. Okay, alternative techniques. Okay, George. I mean, hey, definitely, definitely. Man, I need to get you on here whenever you get a chance, George, and what have you, man. George Baptiste, y'all from Texas. He's one of my best, best friends. He's a father, blind father as well, and definitely he travels with this. I firsthand experience. I know what he does with his child. So, oh, okay, Clinton, you lost. I'm sorry to hear about that, but man, look, if you want to come on and talk about how your experience was or what your experience was like, Clinton, hit me up. Subscribe to the show, man. Third Eye Vision / Anthony, and check me out. Or hit me at my email, parkeranthony225 at icloud.com. Thanks, Crystal Allen, for tuning in. She has an organization entitled Eyes Like Mine out of the tri-state area. She's doing some big things. Y'all need to check her out, eyeslikeMine.org. And I'll be speaking with her sometime this Friday about what she's doing. She has a beauty pageant, and I will be speaking to the winner along with Crystal Allen. So whenever y'all see Eyes Like Mine on Facebook, y'all definitely support her, for real. Okay, so man, Clint, I feel you, man. Yep. Yep, and like that, like they said, Michelle, an open mouth can't get fed. So if you specify what you need, what your wants are, and you know what you want, and you're not gonna settle for anything less than that, it'll happen. So definitely, Michelle, I gotta get you on. I sent you the email. Let me know if you got it. Well, y'all, I guess this is it. But please support Third Eye Visions. I'm about to get ready to get up out of here. I feel my son's pool up and it burst, so gotta go check that out. So y'all be cool. Love y'all. Thank y'all.